6 a.m. First job of the day. Log in and program the chatbot for today.
6:40 a.m. and I have quickly made breakfast. I've also made lunch and I am off to work. My first client is at 7 a.m. Just arrived at work and I want you to look at this. Yep. I'm the only person here that's crazy enough to be here at this time of day. 5 to 7. Now I've got 5 minutes in which to set up this room for my PT client who comes at 7. I've also got to make sure that all of the washing has been done and put the next load in because we are always behind on the washing. We have so much massage goes on during the day. Heating goes on so that it's warm for the massage later. Washing, backlog, washing to be folded. PT session complete. Now what I have to do is take the record and make some notes on it and make about how she did and what we need to change for next week, and then write the next plan. And that is a step that I go through for every single person that I have on a one-to-one session. My client has now gone and I have got 2 hours of admin time. What am I going to do in these 2 hours? Well, I have to check the timesheets against the actual customer records and then process the payroll. And once I've done that, I've got to send the payroll emails out to the staff and process the actual payments so they get paid. I've got to also do the reconciliation of all the accounts. So every day, every single transaction has to be matched up to the invoice or the charge account that it matches with, so that the GST and the PAYE and all of that match up. And then it makes it smoother when it comes to all the IRD things that I've got to do each month. If I don't do this every day, then I start to lose track of what is happening because so many transactions come through the account every day. And that includes people that are paying by direct debit and also people that are paying by FPOS when they come in, and all the bills in and out and everything. All of those, every single last transaction, one by one, has to be manually reconciled by me every day in order to make the accounts match up and make sure that nobody is missing a payment and that nobody's been overpaid or underpaid and that sort of thing. Then I've got to continue to write the PT plans. Because I've got over 20 of them to do a week, and that's only a fraction of my job, I try to do them as I go through the week so that by the time I get to Friday, I've got all of next week's done. If I don't do that, then I get behind with everything. And what I don't want is for the client to walk in the door and I haven't actually written the plan yet. I have then got to also write the class plan for later on today. The class is at 6 p.m, but I don't have very much spare time in between. So sometimes I actually have to write the class plans the day before. And last week I actually even had to write Mondays on Friday so that I would have time to do it. I have got to also then check Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and schedule all of our social media. This is partially done in advance and partially has to be done each week by me. The reason I do that is so that we are top of mind always on all the social media channels and that people locally know about us and are always seeing what we do. Then I have just a second ago received a message from someone wanting to cancel an appointment today. Now it sits in a prime time slot. Now some of our customers, all of our customers are advance charged, and we ideally want them all to pay in advance because they all occupy slots which then at the last minute, if somebody cancels, and we are going to struggle to fill the time slot, especially if it's in an evening slot and we don't get much notice. Now we can't make customers do this, and some of them don't, and then that means that we end up with time slots we can't fill, and it means that our staff have got blank time that we can't fill, and we might have turned away customers earlier on in the day saying we haven't got any appointments left, and then later it turns out we do. We lose those customers. So I've just received a message saying that somebody wants to cancel their appointment today. Now I've got to then go onto Facebook and Instagram and all those places and send out the message to anybody who's on our cancellation list to see if I can fill that time slot. Because if it stays empty, then it's wasted time on our calendars. Then I've got to, what else have I got to do? I've got a direct debit to set up for a new customer. Now what happens there is a direct debit mandate is filled in by the customer. It's a piece of paper that comes back to me like this. And then I have got to take that to the bank. Now there is no shortcut around that. So everybody who sets up a new direct debit mandate, I have to go to the bank with that piece of paper. And we need the original form and not a copy. Once I've done that, I've then got to program it through our computer system and set the payments up for schedule. I've then got to go into our account system and set up a recurring invoice for that so that we can check that all of the payments are coming out and that none of them have been dishonored by the bank and things like that. And then hang on a second, once I've done that, then we've got extra security on our account to make sure that any direct debits mandates that are set up are actually set up by somebody authorized. So everybody authorized to set direct debit mandates up with Writing to Health accounts have all got one of these, and we have to sit in front of the computer with it and it communicates with us, and we've got a set of codes we've got to put in. So a new direct debit mandate setup actually takes about an hour, perhaps more. It depends how long I have to wait in the bank when I take it down to the bank. Now, bearing in mind, that is just today. Now that list can change, and that's just what I'm going to do in the next 2 hours. I may get that all done. I may not get that all done. If I don't, then I need to find some time somewhere else to do it. So I better get to work. I've been to the bank. That took me about 20 minutes because there was a long line, but I've dropped off that direct debit, so now I can set it up at my end. And now I am at Mitre 10 because one of our massage rooms heating is not running correctly, and our client this week actually put our little blow heater on because he said it was cold. So I am in here to see if I can find a microthermic heater that I can plug in electric that doesn't make a noise so it doesn't interrupt the relaxation massages, all eating into my only 2 hours of admin time. I just got back from Mitre 10. This is my solution to try and heat that third massage room up. I have already set up the PT client, which is there. Now I've got 30 minutes left of my admin time to get through the rest of my list. It's not happening. I've just spent the last 20 minutes faffing around with the heater. I've discovered that the heating thermostat in the building is 10 degrees different to the heating thermostat on the microthermic heater I've just put in the room. 10 degrees in the wrong direction, which means my room is freezing. So I've just spent the last 20 minutes far-tossing about with that. That means my time is up, my client's due here in 2 minutes, and I still have a long list of stuff that I haven't got done. PT client gone, set up for the next one. Now my next 3 appointments are all back to back, maybe it's 4. So I've also had to do this. This room is also set up because I've got 2 PT clients and a massage all back to back. Now I don't actually get a lunch break today until about 3 o'clock. Remember, I started at 7 a.m. It's now that time. It's just coming up to 3 o'clock. I have had, since the last time I spoke, I've had 2 PT clients back to back and a massage client. I have already changed the massage linen to get it ready for the next person. And I have some notes that I have to fill in. And I'm also changing the washing and putting another load of washing in. And it's 10 to 3 and I'm just about to eat my lunch. Remember, I started this morning at 7 a.m. I just received a message from someone saying they needed to change their sessions. So no lunch yet. I have just got to sort out the rebookings for those first. Xero has a very irritating flaw in it that costs me. All of our invoices come through our booking system timely, and Xero doesn't think we've sent them. So every day I have to manually get reminders, and we don't get paid. I'm stepping away from the vehicle. So it's now 3:30. This will be the first time I've sat down and had a cup of tea. And I've still got my lunch right here. And I came in at 7 this morning. So I'm going to sit down and drink a cuppa. 4:20. I've spent 20 minutes on accounts, looking at the profit and loss, looking at the budget manager and see if we're hitting the targets for this month. And I've got 10 minutes before my next client comes, so I'm going to write a couple more of my PT plans for next week so I can keep on top of all the admin. Massage client gone, linen in, another wash on, and I have now got to write the notes and change over. I've got 7 minutes for my next one. 6:20. One more massage to go, and then that's the end of my appointments for today. It is now 8 p.m. I have caught up with all the paperwork for the massage clients. I've put the linen into the laundry, changed over so the table's ready again for the next person. I've also set up my PT client for tomorrow morning, and I'm just about to go home. It's 8 p.m. I came here at 7 a.m.